I went on a short weekend trip to Bohol on April 14 to 16, 2023. It was an approximately 1 hour, 30-minute flight from Metro Manila. This is the first ever commercial flight I've taken since the pandemic began. The last time I was in Bohol was way back in January 2015, 8 years ago. They've moved their airport from Tagbilaran City on the Bohol mainland to Panglao Island since then, back in 2018. Here's a photo of the old Tagbilaran airport. Now here's one of the new one. The old airport was much more cramped and we had to walk up the plane via stairs. Now once you land, it's only a 15-minute drive to the Alona Beach strip of Panglao. It used to be a 45-minute drive or so from Tagbilaran City on the mainland of Bohol, and then you have to cross from the mainland to Panglao Island. Now, the new airport also takes international flights unlike the old Tagbilaran airport, but not from many points of origin, only from South Korea and Thailand from now. After the short 15-minute drive, we checked into the Henan Resort, which is in a prime location in the busy Alona Beach strip on Panglao Island. We left our bags in our room and then headed out immediately as it was past noon by then and we were very hungry. Even domestic flights used to offer sandwiches before, but with the pandemic over, Philippine Airlines is still sticking to its quote-unquote modified food service, probably to cut costs. So we only got a very tiny packet of cookies, smaller than communion hosts, and a choice of coffee or tea, no soda. My friend and I took a tricycle ride to Giuseppe Pizzeria and Sicilian Roast for our late lunch. It's actually only a kilometer away from the hotel, but since it was high noon in the peak of Philippine summer, a very sunny 37 degrees Celsius, we didn't want to walk there. I've tried this place already during my 2015 visit. I'm glad it's still around. Now, this salad is now 95% iceberg lettuce with only a few pieces of romaine. But I really can't complain. It's pretty inexpensive and there's bad inflation going on, even in provincial areas. The pizza was pretty good. We had a few slices left over and I refrigerated them in the hotel and even flew them to Metro Manila after. They still tasted perfectly fine even after reheating. After a post-lunch nap, we walked around the hotel property. I don't have much video footage from day one, mostly still photographs as I was very tired and it was super sunny. I left home for the airport at 6 a.m. The hotel fronts the Alona Beach strip, so we headed out there after to explore and take photographs a bit. I had some interesting beach dog encounters. Since the sun was starting to go down, we went in to swim a bit in the sea. The sunset was really lovely. There was even a band singing by the beach at the Henan Hotel as the sun set. We had dinner at Sea Breeze Cafe, the beachfront restaurant of the hotel, and then walked the shore a bit again after dinner to digest our food before turning in for the night. The second day started with having a hearty hotel buffet breakfast in Coral Cafe. It's the hotel's restaurant in their main building, a different place from Seabreeze Cafe last night, although they serve the same breakfast spread. I encountered this whimsically placed red balloon in a housekeeper's cart while walking to and fro the restaurant in my hotel room. After that, I took a tricycle to St. Augustine Parish Church, also on Panglao Island, around 4 kilometers away from Henan Resorts. My friend already went ahead an hour before to attend her niece's baptism there. It's the raison d'etre for the weekend trip. I wasn't originally planning to go to the baptism, only the reception, just chill at the hotel in the morning, but after she messaged me that the church looked cool and would be something up my alley, I flagged down a tricycle outside the hotel and went. After 10 minutes, the tricycle deposited me in the front yard of St. Augustine Parish Church. This isn't the Grand Dam of Boholano historical churches, that would be the Baclayon Church. But this church is still pretty grand for being just a neighborhood parish church. Construction was completed in the early 20th century, circa 1924. The original church was ruined in the late 19th century. Construction of the present church started in 1894 by Fray Valentin Utande until its completion by Padre Quiterio Saringumba in 1925. The church contains one of the most unusual ceiling artwork compositions in the country, done in the 1920s. This church is noteworthy because of its twin antique confessionals carved with grape and dove patterns. The church is also known for its ceiling murals depicting the sacraments. Source: I cribbed this from the Panglao tourism site. I'm gonna link to it in the description below the video. While my friend was taking photographs with her family, in-laws, and other friends after the baptism, there was a public lecture going on. The lecture was in Visayan, so I couldn't fully understand it, but I could gather from context clues that it's either a pre-baptismal or pre-wedding lecture. The lecturer spoke extemporaneously, non-stop, no script, on various topics like raising godly kids and marital relations. I saw her in action for half an hour while I was taking photographs. She could have been an events host in another life. Very noteworthy to me was the bell tower, watchtower towards the back of the church property. To the rear of the ruins and at some distance stands a 5-story bell tower or watchtower built in 1851. Octagonal in plan and covered by a pitched roof, the tower is one of the tallest of its kind in the country. The tower is in bad state and needs immediate intervention for its conservation. Again, the source, Panglao tourism site. I'm gonna link to it in the description below the video. The beach shore area behind the church is super interesting to me. It's not a place you'd randomly stumble upon while walking on the main road. You wouldn't have known there's even a beach behind the church property with a shore that you can access via a walkable dirt road. I only spotted it because I was photographing the bell tower and because I was already in the church. There were locals chilling under little huts. There's a little beach area facing the water behind it, as you can see on the map. It's not a touristy beach, and there's a storm surge warning. I had a random animal encounter there. While I was photographing the outrigger boats docked on shore, one of the fishermen came over to chat with me and said if I had come earlier that morning, I could have photographed 2 of the wild birds that fly to him to be fed every morning. According to him, they responded to the names he gave them, which coincidentally are also the names of his boats. I took what he was saying with a grain of salt until he started yelling the names.
Ibon ko, ito ang dalawa kasi ang bangka ko, Arcanador at Gallionador. Ito yung si Galleon. O dahil binigyan ko siya ng Galleon. Galleon, our visitor from Manila, si Jem.
And lo and behold, one bird did fly near. I'd never seen such a bird before. It was not a pet, but it does respond to his calls. The fishermen spoke to it in Visayan, their language, and English for the tourists, I guess. What a clever bird. In the front yard of the church is a classic Philippine monument. No, not talking about these historical ruins, although they do look neat. Nope, the classic Filipino monument I'm talking about is the ever ubiquitous basketball hoops and makeshift court. The rest of the baptism party had already left the church to go back to the hotel to prep for the lunch reception. My friend stayed behind to accompany me while I took photos of the beach area behind the church. We flagged down a tricycle in the front yard of the church when I was done. The tricycle had this warning above his windshield. I guess rural tricycles are not quote-unquote woke. Warning, fat people are not allowed to ride. Fat people is in red. Here are some small town street snaps I took while the tricycle was moving. The baptism was held at the Henan Resorts Convention Center. Of course, aside from the band, no Filipino celebration would be complete without lechon. The lechon was already stripped when I got around to photographing it. It was excellent, and the caterers knew it was excellent and were proud of it because when I asked for some gravy for it, they said they don't have any sauce for it because none was needed. Many lower-tier lechon purveyors throw on a lot of gravy or sauces because they need assistance with the taste, but not this stripped. After the reception, my friend and I hired a car from one of the various guys on the Alona Beach shore holding out laminated cards offering tours to tourists. Our first stop was Baclayon Church in the town of Baclayon in mainland Bohol. We crossed a bridge to leave Panglao Island. I've been here before when I visited Bohol in 2015, but the church was under renovation then as it was badly damaged during the 7.2 magnitude earthquake that hit the island in 2013. I took this photo of Baclayon Church covered with scaffolding back in January 2015 when it was being repaired. The bell tower is all fixed now. According to Wikipedia, Baclayon was founded by a Jesuit priest Juan de Torres and Gabriel Sanchez in 1596 and became the oldest Christian settlement in Bohol. It was elevated as a parish in 1717 and the present coral stone church was completed in 1737. The Augustinian Recollects succeeded the Jesuits in 1768 and heavily renovated the church since then. The church was declared a National Cultural Treasure by the National Museum of the Philippines and is a National Historical Landmark by the National Historical Commission of the Philippines. I'm going to link to its Wikipedia page below. More from Wikipedia. The church entrance is flanked by an arcade leading to the narthex. The entrance to the choir loft and the corosive for the images of the saints is found on the right and left side of the narthex respectively. I entered from a side door. The main door was closed because there was a wedding mass going on at the time. There was an interesting room inside that held a collection of religious statues and figurines, imageries, and icons. It was inside a dark stone room, so the photos came out grainy. After that, we left and we drove over the Lobak River. We stopped by the man-made mahogany forest en route to our next destination. This is an obligatory tourist stop and was on the way anyway, so we stopped to take some photos. We arrived at the tarsier conservation area maybe half an hour or so after. Tarsiers are some of the world's smallest primates. They're very shy and skittish, and that's why the sign is necessary. There was a time during the COVID pandemic that they disappeared from this area for almost a year because there was a big typhoon that freaked them all out. Luckily, a few tarsiers trickled back, and although their numbers aren't as high as during my 2015 visit, which is a shame because they're already an endangered species to start with. They're nocturnal, so this fellow was sound asleep in the afternoon. This one looks like it just woke up. I don't really have any other photos with the tarsiers because I don't have a telephoto lens and I didn't want to stick my camera any closer as it may bother the sensitive critters. After that, we drove to the famed Bohol Chocolate Hills. These are geological formations that resemble the Chocolate Kisses candy brand. They span a big area, covering many towns. The viewing deck we went to is in Carmen Town, which was a 15-minute drive from the Tarsier Conservation Area. These majestic hills are meant to be seen in person. My amateur photographs can't really do them justice. I only took a few snapshots as a souvenir. We stayed and enjoyed the sunset view before heading back to our hotel in Alona Beach. It was around a 67-kilometer drive back, 1 hour 45 minutes. We had fresh seafood for dinner right on the main Alona Beach strip. Many places offer a wide array of fresh seafood that you can choose from and they cook it, whether steam, grill, saute, fry it for you. I got 2 big prawns and a rabbit fish, which the guy said tastes best when grilled. After I told him that I wanted the fish grilled when he asked me what type of cooking I wanted. They also had these really large fresh clams, but I didn't order them as the minimum is 6 pieces and my friend does not eat clams. If I eat all the 6 alone, I'm afraid I'd get indigestion. Aside from fish, they also offer the usual meat cuts for grilling like liempo, Filipino pork belly cut, barbecue skewers, etc. But I didn't get those anymore as you can get those anytime. The fresh seafood is what's unique about dining on the beach. After dinner, we walked down the length of Alona Beach again to take photographs while digesting the big meal before heading back to the hotel. Day 3 morning. I walked around the beachfront area of the hotel to take photographs before heading to their breakfast buffet spread at the Sea Breeze Cafe, Henan's beachfront restaurant. After breakfast, I had a final swim in the sea before heading back to the hotel room around 10:30 a.m. to dry my swimming gear in time for the 12 noon checkout. I'm glad that the hotel room has a balcony where you can dry your damp swimming gear under the sun. Here's other snapshots of my hotel room. I spotted this really talented stray beach dog swimming and playing catch after my post-breakfast swim. After checking out, we left our bags with the hotel concierge and walked to find a place for lunch. We took the concrete road behind the hotel instead of walking on the sandy beach this time. Here are some snaps of the parts of Panglao Island circumferential road right behind Henan Resort, and the little Alona Beach access road back to the beach. We split some tacos and burritos for lunch at a cute little diner called Ola on Alona Beach Road. It was just alright, not great, not too bad, commensurate with its affordable price. They turned on their air conditioning when it got too hot close to 1 p.m., which we were grateful for. We continued to walk down Alona Beach Road down to the beach area after lunch. It was super hot by then, past 1 p.m., and luckily the Buzz Cafe was on our way back to the Henan Resort. We had to go back to the hotel to get our bags and ride to the airport at 2:30 p.m. This is the facade of the cafe. They have a takeout window for their homemade ice cream, and a door that enters into a gift shop selling honey and other goods from the Bohol Bee Farm, and stairs leading up to their second floor dining area. I actually took this picture of the facade on day 1. It was so sunny when I got here in my post-lunch walk on day 3 that I went straight in for a cold dessert. I didn't go to the Bohol Bee Farm on this trip, but I did back in 2015. It's definitely an interesting place. They have beehives and all sorts of honey products. Anyway, in this Buzz Cafe, which is opened by the same Bohol Bee Farm, I got their halo halo, which is shaved ice, fruits, and you can choose from 2 of their homemade ice cream flavors. I chose mango and ube, Filipino purple yam. p.m. It was excellent. After that, it was time to go home. As I mentioned in the day one portion, the new Bohol airport is now in Panglao Island and not in Tagbilaran City on the Bohol mainland anymore, so it is only a 15-minute drive from Alona Beach. Since it was only a domestic flight, we were done with check-in and were at the boarding gates within 15 minutes of getting to the airport. It's a small airport, but it looks nice and modern compared to the retired and defunct Tagbilaran Airport. When I was last in Bohol in 2015, most of the for-hire tricycles looked like this. I photographed these in the St. Augustine Parish Church lot this April 2023 trip, and it's one of the few old-style tricycles I've seen on this trip. In this one, the luggage compartment is at the back, the sidecar is on the side, similar to the tricycles we have in Metro Manila, sans the luggage compartment in the typical Metro Manila tricycles. The newer ones have a somewhat higher fare, at least compared to the city tricycles in Metro Manila. But you really can't complain, as these new ones are even nicer than the 2015 era Bohol tricycles, which are already much nicer than the beat-up city tricycles in Metro Manila. Many of these newer ones use Piaggio engines to start with. The seats are very comfortable and not super low, and you're not going to hurt your back. The passenger cabin is integrated into the front shell of the tricycle. There is a luggage compartment still, since it's a tourist town, which you access by climbing up a mini ladder to the roof. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video of my travels. Did anything stand out for you? Please comment below. Please thumb up this video if you liked it and subscribe to be updated when I upload again. Thank you for watching till the end, and see you next video.